Hey everybody, welcome back to the Lean by Doing channel. And today I want to talk to you guys about the morning meeting and how to keep it from getting stale. I also want to touch on why it's so important that we do a morning meeting. So let's go. As part of a book club that we're doing at the Improvement Starts With I Signal Group, we are covering Ryan Tierney's Lean Made Simple book. Every chapter, a different leader is hosting the meeting and discussing the takeaways from each individual chapter. This week's leader was Nick Price of Valley View Industries, and he was talking about how important the morning meeting is, how he handles his morning meeting, and he asked one question of all of us in the group, and that was, what are you doing to keep your morning meeting from getting stale? So before I dig in any further, if you're not doing a morning meeting, it's an absolute must if you want to build your lean culture. This is where we train our employees to think lean. It's also where we share all of our improvements. It also gives an open forum for your team to discuss problems that are happening on the shop floor, which allows you to make action on those problems. So first and foremost, if you're not doing morning meetings, start doing morning meetings. And if you're looking for content on how to do a morning meeting, I do have another YouTube video where I talk about how we do a morning meeting, and Tom Hughes from Gemba Docs actually hosts our morning meeting. If you need more information, hit me up. I can get you a template so that you have something to build your morning meeting off of. But as I said, Nick from Valley View Industries, he said, hey, what are you guys doing to keep your morning meetings from getting stale? It doesn't matter how long you've been doing lean and doing your morning meetings, you're bound to run into times where it gets stale. We are 7 months into our lean journey and we're in our third revision of morning meeting. And what that means is we have made changes because, as with continuous improvement, you should be evolving your morning meetings to add value and cut out all the non-value. What does non-value in a morning meeting look like? Well, non-value is any of the stuff that your guys don't want to hear. If you're looking around the room and nobody's paying attention, then you're dealing with non-value. And as everything in lean, get rid of the non-value. That means you may have some learning section that you think everyone should want to watch, and it could be 15 minutes worth of information, but if nobody's consuming it, get rid of it. It is waste. Last August, when we started our morning meetings, we went way in and way down the rabbit hole. I thought it would be a really good idea if we had all of our employees presenting a topic. So we would pick a random topic, whether it be Murrah or Murray, value, non-value, or the 8 ways, or whatever it may be, some lean thing. And then they would have to basically do all the research to then teach it to the rest of their coworkers. And although I thought it was a good idea, what we found was over time, it became non-value. As I looked around the entire meeting that morning, I noticed that about half of the team had their heads down and they weren't paying attention. So in order to prepare, they're essentially building a PowerPoint. They would spend upwards of 2 hours trying to do the research to learn about a topic in order to put together a PowerPoint to present it in the next morning meeting. And as you can imagine, that is non-value. My customer does not want to pay for somebody to be spending 2 hours of their time making a morning meeting instead of actually making the product. After about 6 weeks or so of creating these big template morning meetings, we decided it was time to cut back. And that meant that we were no longer asking our team to do the research to teach us a topic. We kind of went full reversal. At the time, our morning meetings were lasting between 30 and 40 minutes, and that was a lot of time. We were giving a lot of time up that we could be building product in order to do that meeting. But if half of that meeting is non-value and half of your team is not consuming the content, then get rid of it. So we went back to the drawing board, but we wanted people to talk in the meetings. So what we decided to do was a department or area check-in. And we thought this is a great idea because this will get everybody talking. Some areas only have one employee. So that employee is going to have to speak every morning in the morning meeting and tell us about their problems, except for the fact that every day turned out to be this. Yesterday was good. We had no problems. Over and over and over and over again, we did this for months. The whole purpose of asking them to speak up in the morning meeting is to add value. Tell us what your problems are. Tell us what your issues are so that we can discuss them and grow. After cutting the learning aspect out of our morning meetings, we had it down to about 18 to 20 minutes, which was, in my opinion, is the perfect amount of time for a morning meeting. But just like our first revision, it was starting to get stale because over and over and over again, we weren't getting any real good responses. That's when I visited Will at the Tennessee Cheesecake. And when I saw Will's morning meeting, I brought home immediately 3 new changes. The first one was we introduced word of the day. And word of the day is meant for them to be able to pick a word, and it could be anything. It could be lean related, it could be teamwork related, whatever it is, they can put it up there and they can say, this is my word of the day and here's why. Next was a quote of the day. And now what my guys are doing is they're creating a quote that is impactful for them and sharing it with the rest of the team. So both of these things I found have added tremendous value, and they're easy to find and easy to add. Now, the biggest takeaway I had from Will's morning meeting was the announcements and feedback section. So we cut out our department check-in area and we threw this in. And this has become an open forum for my entire team to be able to voice concerns, talk about problems, just give feedback, or even just announcements, whether it be a work anniversary or a birthday. Some days it falls a little flat and there isn't a lot of updates and there's not a lot of feedback. But other days we could spend a lot of time talking about a problem that pops up. None of these things are tried and true. You have to be creative. You have to find new solutions, even if that means going and visiting other businesses, seeing how they're handling their morning meetings, and implementing it into your morning meetings. But you can't be afraid to change it up. If it's not adding value, find new slides or find new topics in order to bring value to your morning meeting. We continuously improve our morning meetings, guys. We're already doing continuous improvement. It doesn't stop at the shop floor. It goes into everything that we're doing, including the morning meeting. The next big takeaway I got from Ryan Tierney, and that was putting somebody in charge of the morning meeting so that you have a person that has total ownership. They're the person that's tasked with making improvements, improving the slides, and creating all the standard work that needs to happen to allow your staff to quickly create their meetings for the next day. Without this person, you're going to find that you have nobody in charge of your morning meetings. It's going to be a little chaotic, and you're definitely not going to get the improvements that you want because you need to have a baseline. So just like you are on the shop floor, you need to be critical of your morning meeting. You need to look for ways to improve it. You need to look for ways to remove waste, and you also need to look for things that are working and things that are not working. And remove the things that are not working. Don't keep doing them. Don't fall in love with your template. The template is meant to change. So after several months of removing that big learning aspect from our morning meetings, we decided it was time to sprinkle it back in. We've done this by adding 3 new slides. The first one talks about what we're going to see, and then it's sharing a short improvement video or other relevant lean video. Then we do a video discussion at the end. This is great because it gives a different perspective to your team. They can look at how somebody's harvesting flowers, and they can have some takeaways for how they can improve their job internally. On this YouTube channel, I've started a playlist called Morning Meetings, and we're trying to tag short videos, ones that are less than 5 minutes long, that you can toss into your morning meetings and share. It's a way of using Yokotan globally to influence your company internally. So if your morning meeting is starting to drag, it's time to make some changes. It's time to look around and find new suggestions. There's tons of people that are willing to share what their morning meeting looks like, so reach out to other people. Find people in the lean community and ask them, hey, is there any chance you can show me what your morning meeting looks like? The lean community is full of givers, so just ask, and I'm sure that anyone will be willing to help you with your morning meeting. And now it's your turn. It's time to take action, improve your morning meeting, and add value every single morning. Hey, and thanks again for tuning back in. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe. If you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, be sure to hit 5 stars for me. And I will catch you guys on the next video.